mute my mic.
I don't have it yet.
Mute my mic.
Says YouTube.
Okay. We should be live.
Yeah, not coming up on my ring the bell yet.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a special edition from Studio B, Canadian Drone Hub. Roger has an appointment he has to take care of this morning, and he's asked for me and Paul and some of his other friends to come in and kind of entertain and be here.
Okay. Well, I may have to
Hey,
do.
Drones, how you doing? Yep, we're here instead of Roger. He had some appointments. So, Paul, how are you doing?
Just hang on a second here. I'm gonna.
Okay. AZ Drone Dude, how are you doing? How's things out in Arizona? Good, I hope.
Okay, now I got the chat going here. I had to find you.
Yep.
Okay, now we're good. Hey, good morning, AG Drone Dude. Hey, first again this morning.
Yep, there he is. He's Johnny on the spot. Yeah, we're just covering here for Roger today. Roger had an appointment, and he kind of left his morning slot for us to try and fill. Although we can't be Roger, but we'll give it a good attempt to try and fill in.
It's funny, I'm getting weather warnings for where Roger is right now for
Really?
severe thunderstorm watch out and that.
Wow. I know that. I think that I haven't checked it lately, Paul, but I think that second hurricane was weakening last night, as I had heard, but I don't know.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, so yeah. Yeah, JD normally always first, no matter what time he gets on here. He's always first. Yeah. He may lose the title pretty soon. Hey, good morning, Quentin.
Quentin Henriksen, good morning. Depending upon where you are, Quentin. Might be afternoon.
Any more bites on the MA2?
Not a peep. And I thought that would be a good deal for somebody, but maybe during this time period, people aren't.
Well, yeah.
Aren't buying. I don't know.
I was watching Alan Yu this morning. You know, the guy out of Vancouver, Chinese guy or Asian guy, and he actually somebody got a hold of him about doing aerials on a construction site and houses they're building.
Really?
Yeah. So he was showing that the job that he was doing.
Well, I understand that construction is up because they had that hiatus for so long for first 3 or 4 months of the year.
Yeah.
Now I guess people aren't waiting.
Yeah.
With interest rates low and everything else going on.
Well, the problem here, I think, is getting lumber right now, from what I hear. So.
Oh yeah, I went up. Oh, this was like 2 or 3. I want to say maybe April. I went up to the local lumber yard and over where the aisles, a big one, where there's all kinds of lumber.
Well, the big thing around here is pressure treated.
Yeah.
Yeah, AG Drone Dude. I never got one either. I don't know what the scoop is there, but.
Everybody hit that like button if you get a chance. When I say everybody, a handful of us.
Yeah, I was sitting waiting to see what's. Oh, hey, there's Roger.
There's Roger.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You on live yet? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, we are. Everybody's been looking for Roger.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I just got out of the shower.
Yeah.
Did you? Blind Neil, good morning. Capture Life Connection. Hello.
Hey, good morning, everybody in the chat. Bly Neil, Capture Life.
Quentin Henriksen from Minnesota is in the chat.
Well, here they had some more fun down in Minnesota. There, some cop shot somebody in the back.
Everybody's been looking for Roger.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oops, there we go. Okay, I had to pop out the chat.
Yeah, it's too bad they couldn't pick something to do with that, you know.
AZ Drone Dude, Captured Life, Blind Neil, Quentin Henriksen, how you doing? Nice to see you this morning, guys. Captured Life. One more day for you, Blind Neil. One more day. He's going to get his spark on Wednesday.
Wednesday. All right.
So you sent the spark that way, did you?
Yesterday, yep.
Yeah.
By Canada Post. Guaranteed delivery for Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
What I wonder, right, when they say guaranteed delivery, if it doesn't get there by Wednesday, do you get your money back or what?
No. It doesn't work that way here, that's for sure.
So that kind of lessens when a Canada Post says guarantee, it kind of lessens their guarantee, doesn't it?
That's right. Oh shit, man! Watching all it, we had one hell of a wall banger last at 2 o'clock this morning till 6.
Really?
We
Yeah, it
lost
looked like you
power.
had something went through. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost
Paul was
power and everything.
Paul was watching the weather and he says, "Oh my."
Yeah, we got it, and we're supposed to get some more today. But it was the poor dog. She was trying to get in my bed this morning.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, she'd take up most of the bed, wouldn't she?
She'll take the whole bed. I've only got a single bed down here.
Oh.
And she used to take up half of my bed upstairs. I had a double bed.
Uh-huh.
So she used to take half of it up there. That's when she was able to get up on the beds.
Yeah.
I ended up building steps with carpet on it, going up to the end of my bed for my other dogs. Back when I used to be able to sleep in bed, and they just go up onto the bed. But that was a queen size bed too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. So what's new for everybody here today?
Not a lot. I got a busy day ahead of me, so. I don't know. I was kind of weird yesterday. I had an agent there. He gave me about 10 signs to remove, And I went and looked at them. Went, crap, I did these ones a long time ago. So I don't know what the deal was. So I texted him back and said, well, 3/4 of these are already done. He said, yeah, okay, no problem. Just finish the rest of them. One I removed back in March. I don't know what he's doing. Just cleaning his books up or something. I don't know.
It's kind of cloudy here today, overcast.
Yeah, we got a severe warning from 7 a.m. this morning until 4:30 this afternoon.
So how far is it you have to go for your appointment, Roger?
It's about almost an hour drive.
Wow.
To get there.
Now, do they take you right in, or you hurry up?
I gotta wait in the car. Wait in the car. They'll phone me on my cell phone, tell me to go in.
Okay. Now this is the day you get weighed.
Weighed, picked, and everything. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm getting my 2 shoulders picked and weighed. That's about it. She's gonna tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Well, it's a good thing you have a female doctor. You should know that that's what they're going to always tell you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only got 2 hours sleep, catch your life. I got about that 3 hours last night.
That was funny because my doctor called me yesterday too. They booked some blood work for me for
Okay.
sometime in September.
I'll be right back, Reg.
Yeah. That's what I got to talk to my doctor about too today. Is that when they give me papers to do my blood test, they don't mark down on the paper that I'm diabetic, and they should,
Oh yeah.
because you pass right away. First off, usually I sit there, wait, then I start getting the shakes.
Yeah, well, mine's, they wanted to know, if I've been checking my blood level. I go, no.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
getting cortisone shots. I know I don't want them because that's gonna make me gain weight. But my shoulders hurt me so freaking much. As you don't do it, I need it. When I gotta take my other arm and lift up this one in the morning because the shoulder hurts so much, it's I've been toughing it out for 2 months. I've been trying to do exercise with it and everything, but it's still not placing itself.
What do you got? Degenerative joint or?
I don't know. My brother has the same problem,
Huh.
so I don't know what's going on. Could be arthritis.
Could be genetics too. Yep. Arthritis. You could be prone to. I've got osteoarthritis.
Yeah.
Mia.
You normally get the RFA.
Anybody walks by, boy, she starts growling.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I'll tell you the truth, AZ John, dude. I think it's gonna be the first time I get shots in my elbow, in my shoulders. I don't know if it's gonna be cortisone. I don't know if it's gonna be something else there. But seeing I'm trying to lose weight, I don't know if she's gonna give me cortisone because it's gonna make me gain weight.
yeah, cortisone causes you to gain water weight anyway.
So, medical aside, I'll be leaving here around 9:30.
Okay.
So, I'll be getting off at 9:30. I'll be leaving here around 9:45. So,
So how long a trip usually under normal circumstances, the trip you're going to take by the time you leave to the time you're back home? 2-3 hours?
well, it depends what time. Because she says 10.3. It's a little high this morning.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been drinking coffee too with sugar.
Let me see. Usually, it depends because sometimes I get there for say 11 o'clock for my appointments at 11.
Yeah.
Sometimes I only pass at 1. Because she is the kind of doctor, she takes her time with her patients.
Okay.
She's not the one that go in, rush, click by. She's the one that takes all the info, everything. So guess what? 3 hours on the phone again with the federal government yesterday.
Oh, lovely. You must
And I
like
got a-
them.
And I got a phone back again Thursday.
What do they keep saying when you call? It's just like, we'll look into it, or we'll look into it, or?
Well, yesterday says, well, they got the papers a little bit too late. I said, look, lady, I did everything 8 months ahead of time, which is supposed to be only 6 months, but I did everything 8 months ahead of time. How the hell can you get papers late? And this is way before the virus came out.
Well, that's that big stack over here on their left-hand side.
Yeah. And she says that on Thursday, if your papers aren't ready yet, if they're not done yet, tell them you want to speak to them, their district manager. You talk to him, he'll get it through urgently. Well, why don't you do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really?
Yeah, that's kind of pucky. She knew
Yeah.
that you did everything you were supposed to do. She should have said,
She
let me put you through to the district.
she even got me to print out papers for my bank account yesterday and everything, and tell you exact amounts I'm getting. I don't understand why they're not giving it to you. You should have it. That's just the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing. Yeah, blind Neil, she is a good doctor. It makes 15 years I got the same doctor.
Ah,
And she was because my mom's doctor, she used to have just one day uplifted and left and didn't tell nobody, just fricked off.
gone.
Yeah. And then one day you can't find a doctor around here. So I had to go all the way to St. Hyacinth, and that's where I found her. And she was speaking English and French. She was from my mom. So then I asked her if she'd take me in too. She's okay. And since then, she's been my doctor.
Now, what town is she physically in?
St. Hyacinth.
Is that a suburb of Montreal or?
No, that's that's see, it's a big town. You got Drummondville.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you see, you got Montreal.
Yeah.
Then you got St. Hyacinth, Drummondville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's between Montreal and Drummondville.
Yeah, yeah. And I would have loved to go flying there today. I was getting my drone ready and everything. Look at the weather. Frick that.
It's always the way, Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a really, really good doctor, and I thought I'd have him for a long time, but he comes like 55 and says, I'm retiring. Yeah, man, that doctor was still doing house calls.
Here, Blind Neil, to get a doctor, it's a 1 year waiting list in Quebec. A family doctor. 1 freaking year waiting list.
Well, hell, you could die in the meantime, right?
Oh, yeah.
I just move somebody else up the list, they figure.
So I keep on saying, well, keep the emergency wards empty, people. Go see your family doctor. Yeah, right. Can't get a doctor for a year. What the hell are you supposed to do? And anyway, so and the worst part about it, I can't let go of my doctor because she's not even supposed to be looking at me because I'm out of her district. Because here it all works by districts, right?
Yeah.
I live in L'Avenir. I'm supposed to have a doctor in Drummondville. My doctor's in St. Hyacinth. That's not supposed to be.
Yeah, I think my wife was trying to be scammed this morning. They on her emails got something from Outlook. It says that you got 2 unread messages from Outlook. I'm going, well, we don't use Outlook. Sorry about your luck.
Just flag it and delete it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got Outlook saying that my email is going to be closed at midnight because I didn't do any updates. Sorry, I never got a message for that. So
yeah, and we don't use Outlook, and we got this thing. I didn't open it, just delete. I could probably go right to my provider and open it that way, but actually I could do that.
Joan, dude, I hope you're getting nice weather down there to fly. I know it's pretty hot these days down there. Captured life. Hope you're going to be able to go flying.
Oh, I can't right now. Okay.
Did you take your meds yet, Paul Murray?
Well, yeah.
I took mine, so. Yeah, my blood sugar this morning was 9.
9.
For the first time, I'm started getting text spams. Yeah, it hasn't happened to me in a long time. I keep on getting those freaking calls on my cell phone for that. Oh, this is the government. You're being brought to court. You
Yeah.
have to get a lawyer. This is the third time I get that in 2 weeks.
The worst thing about me right now is with the way my wife is, getting phone calls from, therapists and all that kind of stuff and people there, but comes up unknown caller, right? And I hate like hell to answer it because, but
Yep.
like yesterday came up unknown caller, but I answered it anyways, and it was them. But I hate,
Dang, AZ drone, dude. It's going to be 112 today and 90 at nights. Holy crap. Hey, Captured Life. When I got my Mavic Air 2, I went, how many days while flying it, Paul? Because of the weather?
Yeah.
About a week.
Yeah, it went on for a long time. You were ready, though.
Oh, hell yeah. Blind Neil, did you track the number this morning on your mail on Post Canada? I checked it out at 11 o'clock last night. It was still in St. Nisafar where I brought it. Yeah, I should get something to eat, eh?
Yeah, you don't want to go on an empty stomach.
There's always a Tim Hortons on the way down.
Ooh, there you go.
I passed 3 of them on the way there.
Yeah.
4 of them.
Well,
That's 4 of them.
Wow.
it's in Montreal this morning, he said.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you'll get it tomorrow.
Hey, Blind Neil, you've been talking to Rick?
At 5 o'clock, it's going to leave from Montreal, go to Ontario. Then it'll be dispatched.
Oh, yeah, it'll probably be distributed right from Montreal, probably go up to where he is.
Yeah.
Well, at least to Sudbury or North Bay, and then from there up.
Yeah. Okay, from Montreal to Sudbury today. There you go.
Yeah.
It's funny. They asked. I put insurance on it for in case, but
Yeah.
They asked me any dangerous materials inside. Nope. Because if you mark yes,
Yeah.
oh, it costs you, I think, an extra $5, $10, because you got batteries.
Yeah.
And then you got to put it in. They put it in a plastic case. Why? If it's gonna catch fire, why put it in a plastic case?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to go figure.
Oh, excuse me. Oh. I know Kim got up at 4 o'clock, came downstairs. Man, we had one thunder that shook this house.
Looked like it might be in for a fun day today. It says it got 31 mile an hour winds.
It's gonna be nice on the highway.
Well, I got to do a couple 4x8 signs this morning. But I've learned to figure out how to do it in the wind. So
It's not flying weather, that's for sure.
yeah, it looks like it's going to be windy for a few days. Yeah, Friday looks good though, according to this. And of course, Friday I got that meeting, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I haven't heard nothing from Rick since yesterday.
I was at work yesterday, but I was just had to drop some of that paperwork off at the office yesterday. We just go inside the door and there's a box you put it in, so they can get to see anybody. But I see, just as I was getting there, they had a brand new bus they were pulling into the yard just as I got there. So imagine the mechanics kept on working at the shop because all these buses they got to be certified every 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So
So that
you know,
mask that I got yesterday, it didn't have no filters in it.
oh yeah,
So what I did, I took a blue mask and I cut it around and the ring and I put it in there as a filter.
oh that's a good idea.
Mm.
So I see Aaron O'Toole's our new thing guy, eh? For conservative.
I never heard of that guy.
No?
No, never heard of him. Went to a drone meetup this past Sunday. It didn't fly. Most of us spent the time catching up. I don't prefer flying in the city with the big groups. Okay.
You see that latest video from Sean there at Geeksvana
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
out Michigan there? Yeah.
That's true. Captured life. And also, it's less nerve wracking. North of the city, I can fly with a big group. So did this show I took off my whiskers this morning?
Cleaned up. Yeah. Like me,
Yeah.
I let him go for a little while.
Yeah. Listening from work, loving the live stream from the MA to, yep. You did a nice one yesterday, Drumpool. Congrats. At least you got the hang of it now. I'm very happy. Oh, dang it. Already the 25th of August. My son's birthday on the 31st.
Yeah. Hey, come on, drone pool. I just have to see you in there. Cool.
Yeah, captured life. What you should do is take out your drone at the same time as him. So I fly around his. So he'll say, hey, there's somebody else. You'll probably meet up. Blind Neil, sorry. Okay.
It's funny. He says, Blind Neil says, that seeing a person flying around. I've never seen another person flying around. Even Capture Life said knows drones at random places, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I may neither. Drone Pool saying good morning, Paul.
Hey, good morning,
Hey,
drone pool.
drone pool.
Yeah.
I'm just balancing my checkbook, guys.
Oh, I knew that. I seen the sweat coming off your forehead.
I've never had a checkbook go into the red,
Yeah,
so I'm trying to figure out where the hell it came from.
probably your phone company. Hey, Mana, how you doing?
Any update on your riding lawnmower there, Paul?
Nah, I haven't heard anything on that yet. That's scary. But they had to order the motor, which they said it was in stock. John Deere it should be there first of the week, which this is the first of the week, so we'll see.
Yeah, so Val did a nice giveaway, but some people are so ridiculous, man. They gave her a dislike. She got 7 dislikes. for
Who's
doing the
this?
giveaway.
They're attacking her.
That was sick. I mean, if you're too jealous, forget it.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't win.
Hey,
Wow.
Mana.
Checkbook stress. Well, I'm glad I don't bounce my checkbooks. I do it off the internet, so.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I had to send a friendly reminder to somebody this morning.
Uh-huh. Leave me some money. Yeah, Val got some dislikes. Mana. Yep, there you go. Capture Life Connection says, talking to you, Paul Murray, turn up the AC before you crunch the numbers.
Well, the thing of it is what's really put me in a bind. You know, I'm in
Yeah.
fixed income like everybody else, but not getting the
Up
rent,
there.
not getting the rent from upstairs.
Yeah.
That's what really puts me in the bind.
Oh, I know you did, Mana. I know you're loyal to the channels. And everybody hit the like button for Paul.
Yeah, thank you very much, Roger. I don't think about that.
I gotta go hit it too, I think. Hold on. I can't remember if I did or not. No, I didn't. There you go, number 6.
Well, the thing of it is that when you're on a mission to join a channel because you've been invited, you don't think about stopping at the regular screen. You just go into the Zoom.
I just take over to my phone and do it easier.
I'll be right back, guys.
Good
Hey,
morning,
Frank.
Frank. How you doing? Oh,
Oh, all right. We get to do the mana.
yep, it's coming up. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go with the mana. Everybody else in the chat. Come on. Let's get Paul to do the
Here we
mana.
Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Mana do 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 do. Mana.
All right. There you go, mana. First day back to work, are you, from vacation there, Frank, eh? Just think about another week or so. I got to go back to work. Oh, maybe 2 weeks, I guess. September the 8th.
It's hard to believe we're going into September already.
Oh, isn't that awful?
September, October, November, December.
Back.
Back to this.
Yep. So, Roger, you missed out.
Oh, I saw it.
I can do it again for you.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, Lord. Worst part, I'm starting to sweat here.
Yeah, well, I got my fan running already. It's warm here already. Well, especially my leg right here. I got somebody with, hot breath there trying to go, leaning on my leg going, come on, let's go.
Yeah, this year's just flying by. Yeah.
everything that's going on, we should be looking forward to 2021, but I'm not so sure that's going to be much better. I
Yeah,
think this whole pandemic thing is going to linger on for a while. I hope not, but
I'm at the office, but I'm leaving soon. I'll finish my day at home. I'm exhausted.
oh, there you go. Yep. Manamana wants it again. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Manamana, do 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 do. Manamana, do 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 do. Manamana, do 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 do.
All right.
Manamana.
Yeah, Cap, your life. You're probably right.
Hey, John Coopy, how you doing?
John
John
Coopy.
Coopy.
John, don't be bashful now. I sent you an invite.
Yeah, he's going to need some people on the panel because I'm going to be leaving soon. I think Roger is too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
leaving at 9:30.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
John, you came at the perfect time.
John came at a perfect time. Yes.
Come on, John, get on here.
Today's what? Today's Tuesday. Or what's today?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Is today? Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, because yesterday was Trash Day Monday.
All right, John Coopy's coming in.
All right.
Yeah, I got to go put a sign up. I was supposed to put up yesterday, but things got a little crazy around here, so I told him I'd put it up first thing this morning. So
So I did take my pills, Roger.
that's good.
I thought I'd taken them, but that was Monday. That was yesterday's.
So you just took yesterday's pill.
No, I took today's because when I looked at and Roger said, "Did you take your pills?" I looked and Monday was empty. I said, "Oh yeah, I must have."
Yeah, probably might be a good idea there, John.
Well, I don't know, John. Depends upon how you want to appear. You know,
Oh my God.
we welcome everybody. I mean, whatever you're
Put a shirt on.
Totally moves. Yeah, man boobs.
Man boobs. Yeah, there you go.
You remember the old black and white Tarzan films with
Yeah.
he what was that actor's name? Can you remember it, Paul?
With that,
I can see him. The old Tarzan movies with the black and white was on TV, and
oh yeah,
you Jane, me, Tarzan. Johnny Westmuller, was it, or something like that?
I can't remember. Capture Life says this is not the late show, John.
But you can leave your little bunny rabbit slippers on if you want. You don't have to take those off.
The sun's coming out. The sun's coming out.
There you
Hi,
go.
hi.
Maybe you should pack your drone just in case you get over there and the sun comes out.
yeah. Well, I'm out in the area today. I'm gonna stop the reserve.
Mm.
I'm out in the area today, so actually, I wonder what the fuel is out there today. Let me see where to go. Right there. Because actually,
Phenomena said, did you know it's legal for women to walk around outdoors with no top on?
you know, they made such a big fuss about that. You know, here in Ontario, some women in Kitchener make a big fuss out of it, and after it died off, nobody was doing it anyway. So what's the big deal? I don't understand. 87.9 cents a liter at the reserve today, gas.
Yeah. It's $1.03 here.
Yeah. Well, it's 92 here at the pumps, or 91.9 or whatever.
And sometimes when it's cheaper here, you go to the reserve and it's more expensive.
Well, normally about 10 cents a liter cheaper there, but right now it's only about 5 cents. Unless the price of fuel went up last night.
Johnny Westmuller, it was Tarzan. Yep. Blind Neil.
Got a bunch of things from Off Axis. He 3 printed things there for us.
Cool.
That little thing for the SD cards.
Oh,
Me like a little keychain thing on it, marked Matt DJI Mavic Air. And this, I do not know what it is. Or what is it for? I do not know. It's I don't know what the hell that's for.
Looks like a scrotum scratcher or something.
And this here, it's marked Canadian Drone Hub on it, but it's I don't know what you put in that.
put a battery? No.
That's too small for the batteries.
Huh?
Probably accessories or something, huh?
And he made these things for the
For the props? Oh,
for the
cool.
props.
Oh yeah.
Holds them in place. That's nice.
And he made Kim some stuff too.
Bet that make Miss Kim happy.
No.
Oh, you made him some stuff, yeah. Where's that?
Hey, there's Herman.
Hey, Herman. Good morning.
Hey, Herman, come on in. Anyways, guys, I gotta go do some work, unfortunately, today. So
Okay, Paul. Well, thanks for
I'm here
coming
for
in.
a short time. Yeah, well, hopefully somebody else will pop in here. Hey, John, I thought you were coming in. Time to come in, bud. I'm leaving, so.
Some young gal scantily dressed just
Oh, come on, show us.
just went by on the road in one of those little scooter things, you know?
Yeah.
No, I thought.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, guys, catch you later. Have a good one.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see ya.
Yep.
Bye, Paul. Yeah, so the winds are picking up here. Oh, I don't know if I should open my window here. The rain was hitting the windows pretty hard last night. Oh, Lord. Oh, good. Nice little breeze coming in. You planning on flying today, Paul?
Well, don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. The sun is starting to peek through a little bit here now.
Everybody check out everybody's channels. Don't forget to hit that like button for Paul. Captured Life says, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. live streams are mostly topless. Yeah, it's true, Blind Neil. I found out why my goggles wouldn't record. Okay, the micro SD card was corrupt. Oh, there you go. Okay, John Cooey's getting coffee. He's coming in, Paul.
Okay.
That was a long time we haven't had a thunderstorm like that, though. That loud. Oh, man, this house shook something. Are you starting to charge some batteries too? Yeah, what you should do though, man, before you even put it in your goggles, you put it on your computer, you format it right away. You always format a new SD card, then you put it in your goggles. In your goggles or in your drone or whatever. I learned that lesson. Yeah, we're supposed to get a ton of lightning today, thunder and storms. Oh, we got it last. Roxy was there scratching on the carpet. Look at it, she wanted to dig a hole to go into the ground. Yeah, I found it the hard way too there, man. I thought my SD cards were freaking, you know, I was having problems with them. And it's people on here told me that you format your SD card first, then you put it in your drone or your whatever you're doing. Yeah. Do a test with it. Just format your SD card. Do you think it's corrupt? Format it, put it back in, try it. Ah, Jesus Lord. Because I sleep on this side. Eh? That's why my arm is so. Well, me, I always put the 32 gig in it. I always had a 32 gig in it. SD card. You can take the one out of your camera too and put it in there too, Blind Neil. Well, it depends what kind you got though for the camera. And that card's 32 gigs is big enough for your Spark. With the amount of time you got on your batteries there. Oh, my son didn't work yesterday because of the weather. I don't know if he's going to be working today. Hey, Sam. Roger, why you a co-host today? Because I'm not going to be here long. I got to go to a doctor's appointment. I'm leaving here at 9:30. So Paul's agreed to take over the show for today. And I'll probably go on for 1 hour tonight. Just so I didn't miss a day.
Yep. Yep. Roger will be on tonight.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Blind Neil. And you got a lot of videos out on the Spark. And I sent you all the instructions too, the booklets and everything. So, but that's really fine print, man. You'll have a problem seeing that. Not unless your daughter reads them. Yeah, everything's good. It's just get myself weighed and get 2 shots, and after that, come home.
Okay, you ready? You ready, Roger?
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Can you see
Okay.
it? Okay, here we go.
That's probably the one, and she's hitting the bottom too.
Yeah. Takes all kinds, I tell you that. She didn't have much on either.
That's probably the one that was doing the exercise the other day in front of your house.
Could be. And very well could be.
Good idea, Blaine Neal. Yeah. Don't forget when you get it, you got to calibrate it and everything for your house, for your area. Or else they'll try and fly back here.
So is it clear? It must be clearing up a little bit. I see a little bit of sunlight on your back wall there.
Yeah, just a little bit's coming in there. It's about ready to go away though. I didn't turn my camera on this morning yet.
Hey Sam, how you doing? Sam, are you at work? I don't know if he's working days and nights, weekends, or on his way in. Because out there it would be 6:20 a.m.
Yeah, I sent him the Spark yesterday, and he's going to get it tomorrow, Sam.
Well, those squirrels are voracious this morning.
Yeah. This is our weather right
It doesn't
now.
look too bad. Well, the one thing is you're going to be going to the doctors. You're going to be going back west. So maybe it's cleared up a little bit back west.
Because where I want to go, it's not too far away from the doctor's office. I want to go fly
Yeah.
by the river, but
Well, you get some real weeds in that ditch, don't you?
pardon?
You get a lot of weeds in your ditch, grow fast.
Oh, the bull rushers, yeah,
Yeah.
every year.
Because I know it wasn't that long ago they were out there cleaning that all out, weren't they?
No, just digging up the ditch. They took a little bit out. That was about it. But usually they come by and they cut it down. But this year they didn't cut it down.
Yeah, that'd take a serious cutter to cut that down.
Oh, they got a big square thing on a big hydraulic arm, and it cuts it right down. I wish they'd do the ditch inside of my house here with that, but tractor will frick up the lawn pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'd almost have to go and rent one of those big things, to cut the bushes down.
Yep. Well, Sam, you're gonna have to get some rest. If you've been up since 6:30 on Sunday, you're burning the candle a little bit too much there, bud.
Yep.
By Neil. As soon as you come out of the doc's office, it'll start raining. There's Mr. Koopy.
Hey, John.
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much. Not too much.
Live from Studio C or K, actually, the IKEA room.
The iCave studio.
Good Lord.
So you're planning on flying today, John?
Yeah, it's a really nice day today.
You got anything new you want to fly or no?
Yeah, this little dude here, little Whoop.
Oh, that's one you got from Canada?
No, not the one from Canada. That one I'll probably do on another day
Okay.
because I haven't figured out who I want to send that one to. Gotta figure out who I'm gonna pass it on to.
Yeah.
Because whoever I pass it to has to do a video and then upload it, and
Okay.
so we'll see. I will figure that out.
Yeah, that sounds like just a project, just passing it on, send it to somebody that'll continue it on.
Oh, yep.
Because, a lot of guys may not ever open their mail.
Yeah, it's funny because I was helping one of my friends do a similar project this past year before all the Corona crap started. His kids, they were doing this thing where they sent a travel log around the world, and everyone who got the travel log would write in it a little bit about the area it was in, and then you'd go and you'd get a postcard, and you'd send a postcard out to the school so that at the end of the school year, all the kids would have a whole bunch of postcards from all over the place, and you would not believe how hard it is to find a postcard today. I have to find a postcard and I have to find somebody else to send that log to who I could trust was gonna send it out to somebody. Crazy, just crazy. That ended up getting canceled, obviously.
Yeah, you used to walk into any drugstore or whatever, and there was a rack of postcards. Not anymore.
I went to like 4 or 5 different gas stations, little grocery stores, kind of places. They never had any postcards. I ended up finding 2 postcards, the last 2 postcards at Rockbridge State Park inside the little gift shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the same thing, though, is almost true. Ever since big box stores, you don't see a lot of card shops, like you used to go and buy a card for special occasions. Now you go into like a big, some of the drugstores have one aisle of postcards, not postcards, but regular cards.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that is even dwindling. It used to be a big deal. Now it's like, oh yeah, I think there's some over down that aisle,
Yeah, like my dad always wondered how the hell did the Hallmark store stay open for as long as it did when you could walk into any CVS
Yep.
or any store and just get the cards there, which is
Yep.
what most people do.
I'll be right back, guys. I got to get something to eat. Okay, be right
Okay.
back.
All right, Roger.
Postcards are incredibly hard to find now. Really, really hard to find.
Well, the average person doesn't use snail mail for anything.
Right.
You can do these memes online and send it to their phone or whatever,
Right. And, if you're at somewhere, you don't buy a postcard and send it. You just snap a photo of where you are and send it right there.
Especially some of those fancy postcards are $5-7.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just funny because it's one of those things you don't think about. Oh, wow. How hard is it to get?
I would imagine in about not too many years from now, John, young kids won't know what the hell, postcards or even a card in the mail.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yep.
They'll go, what is this?
I was just thinking. I found I was going through my closet cleaning stuff up, and I found a whole bunch of stuff from when I went to Myrtle Beach, literally back in 2002. I mean, how old would I have been back then, right? And I was looking at some of the maps of the areas, right? And I saw on it the pet location for payphones. I thought to myself, "Oh my god, this makes me feel a little old now because I know what a payphone is, but how many kids today have no idea what the hell's a payphone and
Yep.
why would you do that?"
Yep, exactly. And I remember it wasn't that long ago in my life, time when I was a kid, my parents would be filling out Christmas cards by the stacks,
Yes.
and addressing them and putting stamps on them and mailing them, and I mean, now it isn't happening like it used to be. Usually, if you get a Christmas card from somebody, it's somebody a little bit older, or it's an immediate person you know real well.
Blind Neil, unfortunately, so I did check the local post office here, and unfortunately they didn't have much of anything at all. And there was another component to it as well. The postcard had to be like of something from the area that you were in. So, I'm in the Columbia area of Missouri, so it needed to have like something to do with maybe the college, something to do with one of the sites that you could see here. Not that there are that many sites you could see around here, but yeah, it had to be that. But the post office here didn't have any postcards. I looked. They won't really have a lot for sale there at all. It's like this small hole in the wall place. You go in, you get out.
Hey, John, you mentioned Columbia. Columbia is a college town.
Yeah.
What are they doing about with the COVID thing? Is it going to be open or?
School started yesterday for Mizzou. Yep. Which I don't know. I'm really surprised given the current track of how things have been going.
Because they have several thousand students there.
Right. Yep. As far as I saw, uh let's see. During first week of State University. Okay. 141 cases. And let's see. There's 159 active cases at Mizzou right now. Okay. So I'm just wondering how are they supposed to deal with that? How is that going to work?
Yeah, and if they have active cases, does that see? That's where I'm confused. Active cases, John, does that mean they're tested positive, and then there's a second test to find out if they're asymptomatic or whether they're coming down with it or whether they're recovering from it?
Right. Active cases means that they were tested for it, just baseline, they were positive for it. Doesn't, yeah, they could be asymptomatic, but they were tested and they've got it.
And
Wow, a bunch of the comments here are saying my money is on them going fully remote the day after the last day to drop classes. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised with some of these colleges. I would not be surprised.
JDS. JDS must be on Chrissy's computer. It says first again. Who ate Roger? Roger's getting a bite to eat. He has to leave shortly. He's got a doctor's appointment he has to go to. So that's about an hour drive.
Yeah, Blind Neil, I'm thinking take that number of 159 and multiply it probably by 2. or
or more.
possibly 3. Yeah. I mean, I was even looking at what my college, the university I graduated from in New Jersey was going to do, and it's a kind of like a big joke. They want you to take an online quiz every day before you leave your dorm room or before you commute to the school. And the online quiz asks you questions like, "Do you have a fever? Are you sneezing?" Like you you fill that out, submit it, and then if the answers are good, then you can come to school.
Well, then what do? They have a health police show up if see if
Yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah, what do they do if
Well,
you're
the other thing that's amusing about and nothing amusing about it, but amusing about the thought process of majority of the people is this is hay fever season.
right?
And a lot of people are sneezing and coughing and carrying on and stuff because of hay fever or allergies.
Right. So what are they supposed to like what are they supposed to do? Not come to school because their nose is stuffy?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Yes, Geeks Vana, we're hiding here. We're hiding here.
Hey, Sean, how you doing? Geek Savannah.
Hopefully not on the
Yeah.
verge of getting too political soon, because we're on the subject of that thing.
Well, I don't see that. I see that as transcending politics because we're not placing blame on anybody, but it just seems to me that they, everybody claims they have a handle on it, and even the supposed expert doctors or whatever, and they can't even agree.
Oh no, I agree, and yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a virologist, but there are people that, man, I know on Facebook and other necks of the woods that you'd think they were, because they apparently know everything there is about viruses. And I'm just like, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So, Sean, how are you doing, my friend? How are things over there? It's in the early afternoon over there.
Yeah, Blind Neil. It has been since the start of the season. Sure, spring colds, all of that, right? But hey, now the kids are supposed to go back to school. The college students are supposed to go back to school, and they're faced with filling out an online quiz that says, "I don't have a runny nose," to be able to go to class. How is it that even fair to the kids?
Self-diagnosis,
It's some sort of stupid self-diagnosis, right? It's some weird liability mechanism is all it is. It's them trying to like push off some blame. Missouri S&T here too has a very similar thing. They called it the Miners Pledge, where you pledge not to come to school if you think you're sick. You pledge to always wear a mask and pledge to blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, really?
Well, in college, historically has been the first time a lot of these college students, have been away from home and are able to experience and make the choices about beer and other things. So if they don't feel good the next day, does that mean they don't go to class because they're
Yeah, exactly. And come on, you're gonna tell a bunch of college kids you can't party, and that's why I think that they didn't want to just cancel the school, because many college students will just say, screw it, I'm not gonna go this semester. I'm just gonna take a semester off until all this is over. And then where's all the money? The school just has nobody enrolling.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Run a class with 3 people in it? For the few that do need to. Ooh, Geeks Vana is preparing for a big interview.
Big interview later. All right. So everybody stand by later on today.
He's got a star.
He's got a star coming on.
I'll be back.
Is that later today, Sean, or later on?
Yeah. Yeah, Blind Neil, I like Dr. John Campbell on YouTube. He's a good man. He's a very good man. He doesn't get political, and he just sort of takes a look at it from a medical perspective. Right, yeah, Capture Life. People just become instant specialists in viruses. It's like, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna crack the door for me. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but she's bugging.
Yeah, I just don't get that Capture Life connections. Like, where do people get off on thinking that they know everything there is to know about this? They literally just make stuff up as they go.
Yeah, that's why I don't have Facebook. Not only that reason, but just glad I don't have it.
Honestly, Roger, you're better off not having it.
Yeah, I know. I see what my brother's going through on Facebook. I see my son, what he's doing. And oh man, I'm so glad I don't have it. Recovery one drone. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
I keep it because unfortunately Facebook is a really good place to be if you want to be in drone groups and help forums and all that kind of thing. But as far as it can get really toxic. I tell you what, it can get really, really toxic on there. It just becomes overwhelming the amount of
I think it also depends
crap
upon
information.
it. Don't you think, John? It depends upon. I think that all of these different live streams have different ratings. Some of them are safe, some of them are controversial, and some of them are, better put your helmet on, when you go in.
Oh
there.
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
JDS says, Raji, tell your doctor to be nice.
Absolutely. Tell him to be nice.
It's a she.
Yeah.
Oh, she.
Yep. She.
He's had her for how many years, Roger?
About 15 years.
15 years. So I would imagine there's a little bit of trust built up there.
Oh yeah. 55% on my tablet.
That's all right. You get a couple flights out of that anyway.
Yeah. That's good. Batteries.
Roger is not going to fly in the doctor's office. He's hoping to fly either before or after the doctor's office.
Oh, okay, good.
Depends on the weather. Depends on the weather.
Depends on the weather. He wants to be prepared.
I'm hoping that at some point this week I'll be able to meet up with that guy that I met last month. We haven't flown in quite some time.
Yeah. Well, Manamana, that's right. Find out who the judgmental people on Facebook, and that way stay away from them. I agree.
Oh yeah, you could pick them out pretty quickly. You can pick them out. It can be really hard though to just walk away from people posting absolute crap on Facebook. It can be really, really hard to just walk away from it. But you gotta do it, or else I tell you what, you will literally spend all day arguing with people.
Yep.
I know friends who've done it, and I tell them, I'm like, don't do it. Like, don't do it. You will waste your entire afternoon arguing with people on Facebook. It's not worth it. It is not worth it.
Yeah, they probably, and I'm only guessing a portion of them have such miserable lives, they're always looking for a fight with somebody.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Paul. There are definitely people that I have seen who I'm like, do you think about anything else? Do you literally think about anything else than getting up today and posting this stuff on Facebook? Like, because it's like all day, every day with some people. It's literally all day, every day. They spend more time probably bitching about it than they would to just go on with their lives and deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Phantom Flight 101 says you can't care so much. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't care so much, but it gets to you after a while. It can get to you. It can get to you.
Well, that's why Canadian Drone Hub, Roger's channel, is so warm and friendly, and and it's almost like a gathering of friends rather than we all have common interests, some of them, but it's so open and friendly and respectful, I think is the word.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a nice, friendly hangout. Except when Kim's there, he gets kind of salty.
JDS. Did you see what JDS wrote, Roger?
Yeah. I answered him back.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well, thank you, Manamana. We enjoy having you here too, and there's so many wonderful people that come onto these channels, and I am just an extension of Roger because I wouldn't be here had it not been for Roger prodding me and pushing me and.
Oh, I'll never do live streams. Right, Paul?
Oh my god.
Yep. Well, there's a difference in being a panelist, and there's a difference in then going actually and doing a live stream that you initiate.
Staking it out and doing your own live. That's right.
Yeah.
It's a big
Phantom Flight
difference.
101 says stop, Paul.
Oh, Kim heard me. I'm in trouble now.
Oh yeah, Kim's awake. I forgot to tell you.
I'm in trouble now. He heard me.
Yeah. Oh, John, I was going to show you. I had a picture to show you.
Oh yeah. Well, let me see. Good morning, Kim.
I wanted to get your
well.
opinion. This was sent to me, and I found it kind of interesting. And I just wondered if you knew anything about it or not.
JDS says he would never have been here if he could not act like an ass. Well, at least you admit it, JDS. That's okay. We love JDS too. Ooh, what? No, that looks super fake. I took one look at it. I'm like, well, oh no, that's fake. Oh my god. I got excited for a second. I'm like, oh no, that's freaking fake. Good god. I literally got all excited there because you were so serious. You wanted me to take a look at it. Well,
Hey guys,
we are gonna get some sort of FPV drone from DJI soon, though. It's coming real soon, probably in the next month or so, I think.
Hey guys, I gotta get going, get ready to go.
Okay, Roger.
So,
You take
everybody
care.
take care. Thanks for filling in for me, Paul. Have a
Yeah,
good one.
you betcha. And Roger will be on again later this evening.
I'll be on
Oh, okay.
Roxy says, ooh.
Yeah. She's saying again.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Roger.
Everybody
Drive
wants to
safe,
back.
my
Have a
friend.
good one.
Yep.
Geeks Fun, strange thing is, I kind of want one too. It would make a good fan to cool the camera. You're absolutely right. It absolutely right. I really want to see though what this FPV drone is going to be like. I got so many questions. If it even ends up coming out, but with the way the leaked information has been thus far with any of DJI stuff, usually it comes out, stuff comes out. So
Yep. Well, technology has now, I mean, I don't care what anybody says, that little camera on that new Mavic Air 2 is extraordinary for its size.
I know, right? And the fact that it's got that zoom now, oh,
Yep.
just incredible. It would. It would need 3-foot landing gear. You're right.
Well, when I saw that picture, I was thinking that you could grab the little, almost a handle on the back of the camera to land that baby.
So I'm assuming the answer is still probably going to be no, but let me ask anyway. Paul, if they came out with an FPV drone and it had a whole bunch of like features, even if it had GPS on it and it could pull itself back, and not at all, not at all. You wouldn't want to FPV those ships, even if it was a smooth flyer with a lot of not at all.
I do the smooth flying now, John. Why would I
Not at
spend
all.
money to do what I do now?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you
I
could
mean,
get
that's like
different
going
angles.
out and buying a Maserati and driving around town at 15 miles an hour. Why would you
But
do
you could still, but you could get some really nice shots though, circling and
I can circle. I do circles.
but not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
No, actually, I think in my particular case, and it might be just my case only, I have to fly steady and even all the time, or else you'd be surprised. People would be reporting you to the Coast Guard, to the government and everything about there's a reckless flyer out there.
You think they would get all upset?
Oh yeah. Because they all know me down there. Border Protection, Coast Guard, police, and everybody know what I'm flying. It's slow and steady, and I fly a certain pattern. I do not fly directly over a ship.
Mm-hmm.
I fly around.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
I guarantee you go down there with an FPV and want to start diving this and diving that and doing this and flying low over the ship and zipping around, man, there'd be police boats and helicopters out there.
Oh, you think so? Maybe so. Maybe so.
Oh yeah, that's why I carry a marine radio in my pocket. I'm listening to any kind of a comment. And way back when I first started, one of the ships actually called the Coast Guard and asked if there was any concerns about any unmanned aircraft in the area that they knew of. And I know they were talking about me, but the Coast Guard responded, no, it's okay as long as they're not hindering your transit.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. And you heard that over the radio?
Over the marine radio, yep.
Oh my goodness. Blind Neil says someone's always upset no matter what. Yeah, isn't that the truth, right? Paul will be diving the ships. Yeah, exactly. He'll be diving the ships.
or can you imagine somebody that would have the nerve? Now those ships are moving at about 10 miles an hour. Somebody hovering right in front of the bridge, like 2 or 3 feet from the bridge windows, as they're going, that'd drive them crazy.
So now that I think about it, you're not allowed to fly over moving vehicles, right?
Right?
Does that a ship is counts as a moving vehicle
Yes,
then?
exactly. And
Ah,
it is also considered essential essential services to
okay.
the country. So that's where you get into trouble with not only FAA but Border Protection, Department of Transportation, all these other federal agencies.
Right, Kim. That's exactly what I was just asked. Isn't it illegal against the rules to fly over the ships? Yep. It is apparently.
And that's why I love my Zoom too, because I can zoom in and out and crop the shot, which makes it look like I'm a lot closer than what I am. But I'm usually at least 2, maybe 300 feet away at any given moment from the ship. And sometimes further. Like at the end of my shots, where I'm hovering higher, I climb up behind it, so the ship is moving away in the distance. I could, by the time I clip it, I could be a quarter mile or more away from it. So.
Yep. I guess you technically cannot fly over your own car. Like if someone was driving and you were chasing yourself, technically you can't do that. But is anybody going to do anything to you for it? Probably not.
Well, not unless you report yourself. But
yeah, exactly. And even then. Oh
so,
boy, that's funny. You see what Capture Live Connection just wrote?
yep, exactly. Well, and I think everybody, common sense would be is, I remember, this was a few years back when I was flying down, and it was a downbound ship. I was south of the bridges, and I was in a parking lot, and somebody I knew walked up and was talking to me after I flew the ship, and I was coming back, getting ready to land. This was with the Inspire, and all of a sudden the guy I was talking to was facing me towards behind me, and his
Okay.
eyeballs got about this big, and about 3 federal cars and 2 local police pulled up behind me, and they had responded to a report of a terrorist drone flying around the Blue Water bridges. And of course, I explained what I was doing. I handed them all my cards and everything, and everything went fine. And after that, a couple of times, some of the Border Protection guys that come over and ask me to give them a demonstration, and I would, and because they were kind of hoping, I think, to get their own for Border Protection,
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? It's good that you are a It's good that you're a responsible person for good in the hobby, because man, there's so many ways that people would screw that one up and get themselves in trouble and make the hobby look bad. But you make every effort to make sure you stay on the good side. I
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, and it's just important too, just to remember everybody, and I know majority of everybody does, but it doesn't hurt to reiterate when you go out and fly, you're not only flying your drone, you're an ambassador for the whole sport.
Mm-hmm.
So if even though you might be annoyed by somebody, try not to agitate or push the wrong button.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You know, and just because something is legal to do doesn't mean that it's a smart idea too. That's, you know, I see that a lot with some drone videos, and it may have been a perfectly legal flight, but I say to myself, why'd you do that? It's just a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just a bad idea. Like, I mean, technically,
Bye, Neil.
I don't think there's any law that says that I can't fly my 5-inch FPV racing drone up and down the neighborhood street.
Yep.
Technically, there isn't one. Is that a good idea? No.
Now, and
I
the
don't
other
need to
thing,
put a flying lawnmower up and down the street.
the only other thing that I go out of my way for, but of course I'm retired, and I have lots of ability to chat with people, is that when anybody asks questions, I actually engage them in the question. As long as I'm not flying after I land, or even if while I'm flying they have questions, I say, you know, when I get done, more than happy to answer your question. I take my drone, let them hold it, look at it, show them how the battery comes in and out, show them the camera, and the more we can educate the public, that I think it's good for the hobby. I think it's good that people understand they're not threatening.
Right. Right. And especially what people need to know more of is what can you actually see with these things, that, you know, you're not spying in somebody's freaking window. You're not, it's
Yeah.
not that kind of deal.
Yep. Grandma doesn't have to worry, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Most people do not realize what you can actually see. No, if I'm at the park and I'm flying FPV, I'm not spying on your kids. It's
Yep.
it's a little.
And it just is it's technology. It's new. A lot of people don't understand. They don't know. So
Mhm.
whatever you can do to kind of warm people up wherever you're flying, the better off it is for everybody. Because just yesterday, I've noticed now that with kids looking for things to do, I have a lot of kids when I take off, or if I'm preparing to take off. Ooh, nice drone. How's that work? I said, well, you know, what you need to do is you need to go online. I said, you go online, don't you? Oh, yeah. Just go online and just look and see. And people will teach you everything you need to know basically about drones. Oh, really? Yeah. You know, they've got all this wealth of information at their age that I only wish I had at my age when I was their age, just to be able to pull it up.
Yeah, I can't. I literally cannot imagine living when that wasn't living without that being possible.
Yep.
It's just second nature to me. Like, but there was a point in time that you just couldn't look up
Oh, when
anything
I
you
was
wanted in
growing
5
up, John,
seconds.
if you wanted to know anything, you went to the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah,
There
we
was
and we had
no
we had a set of
videos for that.
encyclopedias.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a different time. And kids today, even though, you know, sometimes we think that they're a little bit too much, but they have a wealth of information at their fingertips any given moment that, you know, anybody that's 50, 60, 70 years old today never even thought would be possible.
Yep. But you can't make someone self-driven. That's one thing that no matter how much information is available to somebody or how easy it is to get to, they either have the drive to look it up and learn themselves,
Yep.
or they don't. No matter how easy you make it, there's still gonna be those people that are like, well, how do I do it? I don't know. Google it. You know, just take 5 seconds and do some research.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that some of the bigger channels haven't come up with a sub channel, and I would call it Droneology 101, and in which you do it on a regular basis. You talk about drones and how they operate and what they are, what you can do, you can't do, shouldn't do, all of those kinds of things, and then put the word out to all of these educators and everything that they could pass it on to their students. Because I see postings all the time on Facebook about, get information. Here's where you go. Here's what to do. That kind of thing. If you're interested in all the different, because you could do a sub channel on almost everything of life. It would
You know
take some
what?
work, definitely, because you'd have to prepare and get everything ready and do that. But there's a wealth of people out there now that have been given Chromebooks, been given tablets, been given all kinds of ways to access the internet that are looking for things of interest.
Paul, you could honestly be the person to make that channel. I mean, I'm looking right behind you. You've got what could be your whiteboard there. You could call it Professor Paul Drone or something, and you could actually do that. Literally just like this, and upload a bunch of videos.
John, there's only one puppet master, that's me.
No, don't seriously.
It
You could
it
do
would
it.
take
wouldn't-
somebody young like you, not somebody in their sunset years like me, that because you're used to talking to people across the spectrum, and you know how to talk to people as well, John, but you have the young energy to do something like that. Me, I'd get halfway through it and I say, okay, kiddies, I got to go take a grandpa nap. It's like, and all this is just a television on a stand. $300, I think I paid for this 64-inch TV, and the stand was another $100. It was a real good quality stand, and it just works. And I plug it in with a USB into the computer.
Professor Murray's Drone 101. Absolutely. It could be done.
Yes, you could, John.
I don't even look like a professor. I'm too young to be a professor. That's the thing.
What you would do is you just put on a white coat. You'd be right in there.
Okay, that's true. People trust you if you're in a white,
In a white
lab
coat. Yep.
That's true. That is funny, right? If you see somebody in a white lab coat and they're talking about something, they must be true.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about. They wouldn't, or they register those lab coats. You can't just get one by anybody,
That's why people wear those work jackets. What the hell? What the hell is it called? The colored jackets that people wear when they're flying the drones.
Oh yeah. The reflective jackets and everything.
Yeah, reflective jackets. That's it.
The
Yeah.
FAA logo and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're like, oh, that guy must be,
it
working a job.
It works because I have the lapel clip-on that says FAA commercial drone pilot on it.
Oh yeah.
And I can see them, John, when they're approaching me like 15 or 20 feet away, and their eyes go right to that, and they start reading it. Oh, FAA, he must know what he's doing. Yep. Okay. And I do, because I'm a
You do.
107. I'm a 107 pilot, but there isn't any 107 pilot that knows everything about everything all the time. Sometimes you got to think about it or research it or whatever, but
Right. And there have been plenty of unfortunately there have been plenty of 107 pilots that don't do what they should be doing. I've seen it. So, just having a 107 does not mean that you are a good,
Well, if in my opinion, everybody should try to be the best they can be and do as you should. Does it happen that they push the envelope a little bit? Yes. But it's the flagrant violations that are hurting us all. It's the guy that hovers over crowds. It's
Right.
the guy that goes onto an expressway and flies over cars as they're zipping along.
Right.
All of those kinds of things.
Blind Neil says, I've not looked at many professors lately. They're all getting younger and younger. Yeah, no, Blind Neil, I was just kind of messing around. No, I actually had quite a few young professors, especially in my particular field, computer science. I had a number of young professors. So that is changing too.
Wasn't there a movie called The Young Professor?
I think so. Herman says, with all the information out there, you have to have some good sense to decipher from the nonsense, then you will learn. Yep. There are more people telling you the wrong thing on YouTube than right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, again, Paul, you're on YouTube every day. You could do Professor Paul, I'm telling you. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You're not too old to do it, man.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Well, the problem is, here's the problem. I wouldn't know how to reach out to people that want to know more about what we're talking about. I mean, you'd have to do some advertising of some type. You'd have to get connected with somebody. You'd have to, there's a bridge between the people that you and I, John, know and love that are in the hobby and those people that don't have a clue what the hobby is but want to know. You got to find that bridge across, and I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue how to do that.
Admittedly, I don't really know how to do that either. I find that most people that hang around all these channels, the typical audience is not mostly people who are new to drones looking to learn something. It's a lot of the same people who've been in the hobby, some of them for years, have literally some kind of prior flight experience to begin with, is who frequents most of these channels.
Right.
The general public reach is not there. But you know what? You could do videos with very simple titles and they would probably get picked up. What are the drone rules? What are the laws and stuff like that? All this stuff that you're telling me right here, that this could literally be a video. How to deal with people and make your drone flights have less conflicts or whatever when something comes up. I mean, those are things that could be subjects for videos that could take off from search traffic. And those are all really good. And you'd think it would be common sense, right? You'd think it would be common sense, but for some people, they just don't get it.
Well, and in a lot of cases, even though we think everybody is with it, I don't know what the percentage, John, is of the population that really are electronically with it. I mean, 100% plugged in, between flip-flop, tick-tap, and tap at the bottom and all those other stuffs and hashtag this, hashtag that. That isn't something that everybody just gleans just automatically. You have to be tuned into it. So that's where a lot of the things are happening. And I'm just not into that. And it takes somebody that's really into it and connected and thrives on that interaction across multiple different versions of communication.
Oh, ooh. Herman says, "Stop making excuses."
Now Herman would be good at that.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, I get it. It would be an endeavor in and of itself.
Well,
Uh,
at my particular stage of life, it would be a daunting task because it's almost like I envision this. If you want to give information across the board on what drone pilots and the drone industry and inside out look, turn it inside out. It is almost like you're planting the flag on the moon for the first time. It's like really takes somebody that is committed and willing to do whatever it takes and have the energy to follow it through. And I just don't see that for me, but maybe somebody will. Maybe that'll be somebody's calling. Like Mr. Coopy.
We'll see.
And what you could do, John, is that when you do this show, my suggestion would be to invite specific people that share your vision for sharing knowledge, not somebody that wants to come on and brag about everything they've done, but somebody that wants to share the vision of sharing and giving out information freely and honestly without looking for some kind of a return. Because I think the public picks up on that very easily. They know whether you're sincere, whether you're honest, whether you're open or not.
Oh yeah, most people can tell.
And you could even add in little snippets of like at the park and you're talking to some people and explaining some things and showing them some things while you're flying as well. There's all kinds of way to approach it. That could be a small little middle segment, a pre-recorded segment that you put into it. And
yeah, I do like doing videos, related to. I've only done a couple of them on my channel, but I've enjoyed making them. Like the first one I made was about the Reauthorization Act for that was back in 2018. And then I did another one with all this remote ID stuff, and the response that I got from those videos was just overwhelmingly good.
yeah.
So I do enjoy making videos like that.
Yeah. And that's what I say is you could start out with that and then see how it progresses and maybe it be a live show. You don't need to have a live show because through the magic of Zoom, you can record it and then show it later. You can have somebody else join you remotely and you steer it however you want and then chop it up later.
But Paul, you're already a super expert in all this stuff. You could man the ship. I think you could hold your own. I really do.
Thanks, John. But the smartest thing that I learned throughout my life is to realize your assets and also understand your limitations. And at this stage of my life, my limitations outweigh whatever assets. I can add to conversations. I can talk about specific things, but as far as actually being the little engine that could, no, I can't do that anymore.
Herman says, you can't say you got to do this, you got to do that, but I can't do it because I'm too old. I think that's what he meant to write, because I'm too old after that. You were on YouTube every day.
Yeah, but
Herman's really going at this.
because Herman is tenacious. If you noticed, Herman, when he gets something going, he gets it going, and he doesn't let up until it's done. And you got to respect a guy like that, because
Yeah, I mean,
Herman
look,
doesn't get
go
pushed.
ahead.
Herman doesn't get pushed around. He just stays on track.
I mean, like, look, everybody's different, right? But that guy Bruce XJet, man, feel bad for him because he's got Parkinson's. Eventually, he knows he's just not going to be able to fly. He's going to be done.
Yep.
But it was last year or so that he said that he's just going to use the remaining time that he has to just be as big of an advocate for the hobby as possible. And my God, that guy is just something else.
Yep. And see, the other thing too is what you don't know this yet, John, but I'll explain it to you, is the older you get, the less patience you have, the less you're able to just roll with it, you know? Because if you get off track a little bit or whatever, it's frustrating. And some people will verbalize it outwardly, other people will say, will internalize it. And then they why didn't I say this? And why didn't I do that? And why did this? And why that? And that accelerates as you get older. Yeah, old age has its pluses, but it definitely has its minuses as well. Because when we were younger, we thought about, well, man, when I retire, everything's going to be, wonderful. Well, not necessarily.
Doesn't always work that way, right?
Right.
No, I see that. Paul, this is all your vision. Run with it. Yeah, I can see that. He's got this vision here for this. But he's trying to like encourage me to do it because I'm the young hip buck in the drone community. And but like
Yep. And you're not
I feel like it's not my forte. I feel like it's not my forte.
And you're not over the top. But if it can't be John Coopy, you have to find, we as a community have to find an individual that is even keeled, intelligent, well spoken, and able to pick up that and carry it.
Herman can do it.
Because you can't have somebody that's hard headed. You can't have somebody that's well intentioned but doesn't verbalize properly or insults people or that kind of thing. And it shouldn't have anything to do. I mean, you can have lighter sides of the topic, but it can't be a humorous thing either, because then it's more entertainment than it is educational. So
I'm starting to realize the way you're talking. I'm starting to wonder who you're talking about here. If you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. Because there's a lot of people out there that have the ability to entertain, but educating and an open dialogue with your audience about important issues is completely different. That's why you don't have comedians doing the news. They might do it on Saturday Night Live, but it's not on the national news channel, because you have to have the ability to communicate openly, honestly, and keep it flowing. And the only entertainment value is how you present yourself and how you react with your audience. That's it. It's not let me entertain you. It's not that. So, and that's a big order, but there's a few people that I think could pull it off. John being one of them, but maybe there's somebody else, or maybe John knows somebody else that is kind of like him that may want to co-produce something together. I don't know.
I appreciate that. I really do. I guess we'll have to see.
It's just something to think about.
I've actually kind of taken a back seat with my YouTube content in the last year or so. I don't produce the amount I used to, that's for sure.
Hey, Rotordale, how you doing?
And I remember 2016, 2017, I was out there every day making videos, getting a new one up, got to get a new one up.
Yeah,
With the reviews, it
Well,
was like almost like Christmas every week at the time. They were just tossing drones at tons of people. If you could make a video, they wanted you.
well, and the thing of it is what, if you just want to talk generalities, and I'm not saying everybody, but when people put on YouTube some of the videos that I've seen, it's like, why? Why did you? What were you thinking? And
I think that all the time. Yeah, I think that all the time.
but that leads back to, who am I to judge? I'm not. It's an open forum, but you just have to wonder, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I think I don't know what I think. I'm getting
Rotordale,
old.
he puts together videos from over there on the. I think you're on the West Bank, aren't you, Svi? Um, he
Isn't
gets
Rogers in Israel, right? I think
well.
so.
He's Israeli, but I think he's in the occupied territory.
Oh, okay.
Um, he's also a member of the Israeli military, but I don't know if you know this or not. I got if I got this right, Svi. Um, the Everybody, if you're an Israeli citizen within a certain age, you're all a member of the military, whatever.
Right. I was just gonna say they all have to serve. It's
Yes.
for some period of time. It's
Exactly. But Svi, one of the things he does and does very well is he reviews products in the Middle East for people, and he calls it right out. Svi is deadly honest, and he'll call something a piece of crap, or it's a piece of crap. He doesn't care if you
yeah.
send it to him or
I've
not.
seen his channel before. Yep. I
Yep.
see he's got a flight simulator controller or a joystick. God, I remember joysticks.
Yep.
It's been a long time since I used one.
Yep. Yep. Svi, you got a blue wrench. You betcha, buddy.
Ooh, we've gotten 10,000 views on this vid. Nice,
Oh yeah,
man.
he's very well known, and he travels around Europe and Asia a lot. In the Middle
nice.
East, of course. Obviously, he's not going to downtown Tehran, but Svi does get around. Yeah, Blind Neil, I understand that, but that's like buyer's remorse. Everybody has that, and if you look at some of the videos you did, in your mind, it should have been better, but it is what it is.
Yeah, this flight sim video, Paul, you got to check it out. It is really freaking awesome, man.
Svi, do you fly Svi, do you fly a lot of FPV, or is it mostly camera drones? What that you review? I don't know, because I don't remember him reviewing too many FPV drones, but that's not to say he hasn't. But
it doesn't look like he's reviewed a lot of drones in a while. He's gone more back to just general tech, which is probably not a bad thing. Because unfortunately, there's just not a lot of great drones out there right now that aren't the more high-end stuff. They kind of stagnated. like that SEMA drone that I just reviewed a couple weeks ago for $200. I just don't know what. I really just don't know what they were thinking. Really, just don't know what they were
Well, they're
thinking.
trying to hit a niche that the public are no longer interested in toy drones that don't work or have problems or whatever. And so that's a hard niche to nail because you have to give them what they're expecting on getting at a price point that is unreal in my mind.
Yeah, and like the SEMA had brushed motors. It had an optical flow sensor that flat out didn't work. The range in an open field, I only got something like 100 something meters. I mean, and they wanted $189 for it. It's just no. Mm-mm. Thing is, I'm not against little drones like that. It's just that drone shouldn't cost any more than $50 to $75. That's all. And they should fix the problem, fix those problems with it. But those I still think those kind of drones are good. I know some people are against them. They're like, no, just jump in and buy a Mavic Mini. But not everyone can just afford that right out of the gate. And the toys really help you with learning to fly. You get to crash it before you crash your Mini.
Yep. Well, that brings up the question though, why don't we hear anything more about the Tello? Because that was an affordable little drone that supposedly was a good flyer.
It is a good flyer, but it's kind of old now. And you
Yeah.
know what? It's still one of the best toys that you can get. Honestly,
Yeah.
it is.
It's like $100, isn't it?
It's still one of the best toys you can get, but I guess it needs a little bit of an update. I think DJI should come out with a new one, a Tello 2. I would love to see. This is what I would love to see in the next Tello. That would probably make me want to pick it up. I would want to see some mini brushless motors on it. Get rid of the brushed stuff. I mean, look, we have them. Don't tell me that if these little brushless motors on this thing can be had, this thing can be had for under $100. Don't tell me DJI can't do that at this point. Get it some brushless motors. It'll make it more stable. Throw in a little GPS on there. I think that would honestly be fine to do that. We're talking this is DJI. They want to make the best toy. The toys are coming with GPSs on now, so throw that in there. And then do all the other logical things. Buff the flight time, buff the camera. They could really come out with another home run toy.
Tello 2. Yep.
Yeah. Which SEMA rotor deal are you talking about? The X500 that they just had everyone try to promote? I actually thought they were going to be pissed off after I posted that video because
can you imagine over there they blocked 5G?
Oh my goodness.
So that's why they get shitty drones.
Yeah, rotor deal. If we're talking about the SEMA X500, I actually thought they were going to be pissed at me because from the very beginning with that review, they were telling me at first that before I posted the video, they wanted to see my review for approval. And I told them no. I said, absolutely not. I said, if I have any problems with it, I'll let you know to try to give me feedback to help me out. I'm like, but I'm either going to review it as it is or not. I'm like, I'm not going to friggin' have you approve my review or review my review. And then they're like, okay, we'll waive that. So when I posted that, I thought they were going to be upset. I literally told people, don't buy this. I'm like, sorry, SEMA. I'm like, this is just not a good value. Yeah, SEMA just needs to understand the market better.
Yeah,
That was my first drone.
Blind Neil's getting his his little Sparky tomorrow, I guess.
Oh, good. You're gonna love that, man. Spark is still a damn solid drone. I flew mine just a little recently. I forgot how loud it was, though. It's a loud bugger.
Yes, it
So-
is. But it
Something
is
about
a
that
little,
Mavic Air too. It's quiet, right?
yep. But
Super
it
quiet.
is a little tank though.
Oh yeah.
You know, and even the Mavic, the original Mavic Air was noisy too.
You got any bites on the Air too?
Not that I know of. I haven't checked lately, but
It's tough right now, I think.
yeah, I don't think everybody's out doing anything, you know.
No, and it's a tough time of year to sell that kind of thing too, I think. At least in North America. Yeah, I kept saying I was gonna put my Mavic Pro up for sale. Of course, I ended up not doing that this week, like I said I would.
Yeah, it's just a tough time of year. I'm sure I could give it away for next to nothing, but like I say, it's such a nice flyer, and I kind of enjoy. If it wasn't the fact that I had to use my iPad with it in bright sunlight, I can't see it as well. I should just hang on to it as a backup standby, but it also isn't being flown, so.
Yeah, I get that about drones that aren't being flown. That's why I want to just sell my Mavic Pro 1 and get that Mavic Air at some point. Because
And
they all go to the landfill eventually.
oh yeah, and that what's hot today is obsolete tomorrow, you know. I One of the things I've learned is don't fall in love with your drone, because in 5 years, all you'll be left with is the fond memories.
Oh
But
yeah.
the drone itself will be obsolete.
Blind Neil says road trip, go buy Paul's Mavic Air 2. No, they couldn't get me to drive 2 hours to get one for what, 700, 750, whatever the hell
Yeah.
that one was.
Yeah,
That was the fly more comp. They couldn't get me to do that. What makes you think I'd do a road trip to go buy Paul's Mavic Air 2? Good
yeah,
lord.
that's almost a 15 from Kansas City. It's 15 hours
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah, that would be kind of expensive.
Not that you wouldn't be welcome, John, but yeah, that'd be.
Oh, I know.
You could come by it and fly a couple of ships.
Oh my goodness.
Have you ever been up close to Great Lakes, to water?
No.
When
I've been there.
I had the Little Caesars pizza franchise for all of Kansas City, I brought home another couple came to home here, and they stood for hours just looking at the water, because they were used to going to the Lake of the Ozarks, which is brown and muddy, and it's just crystal blue. And it's like, and a very common comment from people that are just passing through that have never seen it before. They'll ask, do they dye the water blue? No.
Oh, that's right. I've your videos too. They show the color of that water, and
Yeah.
I'm like, is that? I think I've asked myself, is that like the natural color, or did you colorize that?
No, that's
I
natural
think it
color.
was Lynn who said no. That's how it is.
Yep. Because good fresh water reflects back whatever the sky is. Like if the sky is partly cloudy, it will be a little bit more of a lighter blue, the water will be. If it's a clear crystal blue sky, it's that deep, dark, smack in the face blue.
the Gulf is really well. It's more emerald than
Hello, drone shots. Good morning. We're here covering for Roger today. He had to
Gulf
go
is
to a
amazing.
doctor's appointment.
Yep.
Corey Mono's here.
Oh, he just watched my latest video. Thank you, man. Yep. I hope that helps people save some money.
Yeah, so it's, you know, the industry revolves around people that fly, and hopefully all of the good, respectful pilots that do the right thing way outweigh the ones that I just don't give a damn. You know, it's that my only concern is I think if you have a retailer like Best Buy,
Mhm.
there should be all kinds of information given to anybody that buys a drone about what to know, what to go, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Give the location of the FAA before you fly. You know, all those kinds of things. And they don't. They just get the money and run.
Well, you know what? If I don't know that Best Buy or the stores should be the ones to deal with that, but the manufacturer of the off the shelf drone at a big box store like that should be like on. Doesn't DJI do that these days? When you set up a new drone, they have you go through.
Oh yeah, yep, they do. But
They actually have that now. So maybe it's not enough. Maybe what they do is just not enough. But last time I set up one brand new ish, I had to go through a whole bunch of questions and
you know,
all
it
that
almost
stuff.
the paperwork should almost be an envelope says before you fly, and it should be there and handed to the person when they take the drone to the register.
Yeah, but it's probably asking for too much in today's world. I think it could be done electronically through the app or whatever before it gets set up and activated.
Well,
That's
I think
fine by
that's
me,
what
too.
that's what they're hoping for today. My only thought was, let's say a guy goes in and buys a Mavic Air 2 at Best Buy
Mhm.
for his kid, 14-year-old kid, right?
Sure.
He hands the kid the box and walks away. Now, the adult is supposed to be responsible for the kid and his flying, and the kid's just going to go flip, 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 yes, 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 and he's going to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And so dad has no idea that he is responsible and that what his kid should and should not be doing with this drone rather than just give it to him to shut him up. It's like the responsibility is real cloudy there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot of parents who buy a Mavic or something and just hand it to their kid, but maybe I have no idea. Yeah, it's a tough thing. It's honestly a tough thing. I don't think we can expect the big box stores though to enforce anything like that. You know what I mean? To make sure people know what the hell they're getting into.
Well, and we also know peer pressure. Bunch of kids get together and they just want to play big time and they don't care what they're doing just as long as they entertain their friends.
Oh yeah,
I remember I came across a video one day of about probably 7 or 8 teenagers, and the kid just got a new Inspire, and he was out doing everything you shouldn't do with that Inspire, crashed it, broke it, and they were all laughing, and the kid says, "Well, I guess we get Dad's credit card and go buy another one."
Oh my God. That's a whole separate issue with
exactly.
With that. Oh, holy hell. Newfound Drone Productions, what is going on?
Hey, Newfound, how you doing? We're covering here for Roger. Roger had a doctor's appointment.
Oh yeah.
And John was kind enough to come here and help me to kind of represent.
Hold the ship down. Hold down the fort. Newfound, I helped him 3 or 4 days ago now with one of his little quads, get it all set up. He was having a problem.
So you got it all sorted out?
Yeah, it was on the verge of possibly literally having to throw it away and shelve it, but got it working. With some of the FPV drones, when you have a problem with them, the problem you're having is not going to be right in front of your face. It's not going to tell you, oh, this is the exact problem. You'll get some hints, but you kind of got to go through this process of elimination of figuring it out.
Right. Right. It's not like they leave you on your own butt. I think they anticipate or expect a certain level of knowledge with these drones that maybe everybody doesn't have or hasn't had the experience or whatever.
Well, you need really really strong troubleshooting skills, like basically electronic troubleshooting skills. If you have your receiver wired in wrong and it's got power, nothing is going to tell you that it's wired in wrong. You need to look at the board. You need to look at where the pads go. You got to make sure you're doing the right thing.
Exactly.
No, nothing's going to hold your hand and tell you, oh, we've detected your receiver is put in wrong. You need to solder it to this pad, not the other pad. That's something you got to do yourself when you find out, I'm not getting any response on my control sticks. Why? You got to figure that out yourself. It
Yep.
wasn't until just recently too that it used to be if your props were wrong on an FPV drone with older versions of what they call Betaflight, that software that runs all of them. It used to be that the drone would just flip out and go flying all over the place if you throttled up and your props were wrong. Now they finally have it where it can actually detect that and stop that from happening. That's what was happening to Newfound Drone Productions. It was not taking off. The runaway takeoff protection kicked in.
Yeah.
But he had the props on right. He had the propellers on right. That wasn't the issue. The issue was that the motors were reversed, but the software didn't know that. So he actually ended up figuring that out on his own.
John, do you think it'll ever get to a point where you'll be able to go to a program, tell it what you're trying to do, tell it what your parameters are as far as like what controller you're using, what drone you're using, what, all the way down the load, all the components, and then just hit a button and it programs everything, boom.
Eventually it will get easier like that. I've seen, if I think about how some of this FPV software is today versus what we used to have, it's gotten easier. But it's still very archaic, very, very archaic. But it gives you the most control too. It gives you the most control over your craft. And for some people that's part of the fun. But I will say this, that's why this DJI bird is going to be interesting, because I know it's not going to be something archaic. It's going to be a very clean package, much like what you're talking about there. It's not going to it'll be purpose built specific for that. The tune will be perfect. Everything will be just perfect on it. You won't have to worry about it.
Well, you would think that the program should be written in such a way that it would have a pilot profile. What do you like to do? How do you usually do? What experience do you have? Rate yourself in different levels. And then that would help the program know, okay, who's using this? And so therefore we're going to make sure that it's set up for that person.
Yeah, I think I think if that were done, it would end up being too limiting unfortunately, with the way some of this stuff is just designed to go together. Something has to change in both the hardware side and the software side before something like that can really come together. And that's also really hard to do what in such an open ecosystem, right? Like for example, Apple's stuff. Apple only has to deal with one hardware platform, one setup, right? With Windows, Windows has to work on tons and tons of different computers, software setups. It gets harder when you need to make something generalized for everything out there.
All right.
So that's another hurdle too. It's gonna be a while, but I'm glad to see some stuff has gotten easier. Like you don't need to be a super wizard to tune your drone anymore. You really don't. I mean, it went from needing to really know the numbers you were inputting to now they've just got sliders. You slide it, fly it. How do you like it? Okay, bring it back in, move the slider again. It's really it's a lot easier than it used to be. It used to be actually they used to have pilot profiles. They used to have what they call pro tunes on some of the drones. Some of the pilots would actually provide these tunes for these bind and fly drones that they spent time creating for you to use so you'd have a smooth experience. And then as the software has just gotten better and better at realizing what your FPV drone needs to fly better, those pro tunes weren't needed anymore. And the next level is what we're headed for in the next level is machine learned flight control. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of data being collected right now by computer models of how these drones are behaving, when they get into a crash, when they're doing flips, all this stuff. And that data is being put together to one day be used as the configuration for these drones. The AI is going to determine your PIDs, if you've heard that term before, your PIDs.
Your rates and your PIDs and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to dynamically adjust based on what the computer knows about your setup. And that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Drone Mesh is doing a lot of research in that area. The Drone Mesh channel is doing a lot of research in that area. And I could see it going that way.
Yeah, I think it would help. It would help, because I at this point in time have nothing against. I appreciate FPV, but it's not my thing. But I think it would help to expand it. If the easier it makes people to feel to build that confidence level, the bigger the sport will get, in my opinion.
Right. And I know there's a bunch of people out there that don't want FPV to see more people in it. And that's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake because the more people that are in it, the more money goes into it, the more resources go into it. I mean, it's almost kind of amazing that we had DJI come in because FPV is such a small sector of the market. It really is. It's such a small sector of the market. And the research and development costs for them to make these, that was a lot. That was a lot of money. Only DJI could have come up with something like this at the time that they did. It was only them that had the deep enough pockets to just throw at a project like this.
Put it out there. Yep.
And if FPV was any smaller, maybe they would have decided, it's just too small. We're not gonna deal with it. It's not worth it.
Well, it always takes innovation to move things up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And who's willing to do it? Who has the deep pockets to do it? And there's other people that try to push technology up the ladder as far as drones and everything. But a lot of them get up half a rung up and they fall back because either they don't have the money or their technology isn't quite as good as they thought it was. Because I think about, you remember that handheld controller thing.
Yes.
We don't
The,
hear a word. We don't hear a word about
FT
that.
Aviator. Yep.
Yes, don't hear a word about that anymore.
Nope.
I don't
it
even
was-
know if you can buy one.
It was just too complicated. It was just way too complicated. Got to keep things simple. Got to keep things
Yep.
simple. Yeah, that was an interesting experiment there. That I guess to say the
But
least.
you know, you have to, even I bet a lot of people lost a lot of money on that deal. You have
Oh,
to
yeah.
applaud the effort. Because when
Yeah.
we stop trying to push the envelope further,
Hmm.
that's when it stagnates and becomes stale.
Exactly. And to tell you the truth, before DJI, I know people hate DJI for all sorts of reasons, but before DJI came in to the FPV scene, Fat Shark, which is what we all use if you're flying analog, Fat Shark has really kind of stagnated per se. I mean, they're still using the same goggle mold as 5 years ago. Simple things like adding a power button to the goggles. You know how many people complain that there's no power button on the freaking goggles? Simple complaints like that. And the thing is, it would just cost them too much money to change the mold, so they don't want to do stuff like that. HD FPV was not even on really anybody's minds as anything that was going to happen anytime soon. And who would? Why bother when you're at the top and everyone's cool with analog? Where's the drive to change anything?
Yep.
Fat Shark was working on this Bite Frost thing after DJI came out with theirs, but they literally had to scrap it because it was so bad. It was so bad. But the competition is good. The competition is good for everybody. In some cases, there's just not enough of it, and it leads to serious product stagnation.
Yeah. Well, it leads back to the old phrase that I think is really poignant at this point. Don't hate the players, hate the game. If you hate the game, fine. But don't hate the players, because the players play off of one another.
Exactly. That's a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of looking at it. And that's the other thing too, that I think about it with all the laws and stuff. I know there's a lot of people in the FPV community who say, "Oh, well, screw it. We'll be fine. Even if they pass this remote ID stuff as it is, I'm not gonna comply. I don't have to comply. I'm all built up myself." And all right, but there are going to be market reaching implications of that. Whether you live out in the middle of nowhere and you can fly your unrestricted flight controllers, and I mean, you'll always be able to get that stuff. But if it becomes so underground, is a company like DJI gonna want to spend money to innovate in that area? Is any company gonna want to spend a lot of money to innovate in a quote unquote sport that's now more on the underground? It's not good. It's not a good situation. And what the United States does, other countries will follow. So it's not even just a United States issue.
Yes.
We get copied all the time. So, I don't want FPV to become this underground thing. You guys with the Mavics and GPS drones, honestly, you're in a better position than we are, because if this remote ID stuff were to be implemented exactly as is today, then you guys it would be a pain in the ass for you to fly. You would have to pay, and all the privacy implications and everything else, but you guys would still be able to fly as you have been, more or less. Us, we've been chucked to a field. We've been chucked to those AMA fields.
Yep.
The self-build stuff is not really sanctioned. They don't get it.
Well, and that's the other problem we have, is you've got these internal struggles within the community and I kind of understand where the AMA guys are coming from. they were around ever since the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And all these, you young whippersnappers, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's not what we want. This isn't that, whatever. But at some point in time, they're either going to die out or they're going to have to evolve and embrace everyone that is using the airspace for unmanned aerial vehicles. Or they're going to just die out and go away.
Well, the FAA is basically saying that they're going to have to deal with this whether they like it or not, because last time I checked, okay, they're going to allow these sites to be established where you won't have to use remote ID. But after a year goes by, I believe, no new sites can be added. Now, the Earth still has plenty of different places to fly. So after 12 months, no new places can be established on the list of approved locations that you can fly without remote ID. So the AMA clubs and fields that are there that get those exemptions, they're frozen. There can be no new ones after that. How does that work?
Yep.
The reason they're doing that is because they say that they believe that eventually remote ID compliance will be more common and those sites are just not going to be needed. So they're basically telling them, yeah, we're going to give you your little exemption for now, but you guys need to get on board with this remote ID stuff. Start tagging your helicopters, start tagging your planes.
Yeah, and they will be as adamant against that as anybody, because they why do we need to do that?
Yeah.
It's because we see it now amongst what I would say the more despondent FPV flyers and some cinematic flyers that say, this is a free country, I'll do what I damn well please. Yeah,
right.
Okay, but it doesn't help the whole group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'd be totally fine with some kind of digital license plate, some sort of digital tag that can be, read from the air. It could be embedded literally in your control link.
Sure.
Or some kind of broadcast. I'm totally fine with that. And then have the license plate possible to look up for people in law enforcement.
Yep.
But I don't know who someone is on the road by looking at their license plate on their car. Why the hell should I be known by some random person in the public while flying a drone?
Yep. Well, and you're 100% right on that. Everybody has access to see every license plate that's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
What they don't have access to is to find out who the hell that belongs to.
Exactly.
And where they live. So if you can do that with the millions and millions of cars on the road, you ought to be able to do it with the thousands and thousands of drones in the air.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And our cars too. I mean, our cars do not have something that's constantly tracking them all the time to where the cops can see where our cars are. So they're like, oh no, we need the remote ID. We need the cops need to be able to look up exactly where that drone is, or the FAA needs to know exactly where that drone is.
Except it's starting to move in that direction, John, because of technology. Like OnStar, like having in your car Wi-Fi in some of the newer vehicles and stuff. They know where that car is all the time now.
They've always known that.
Yep.
OnStar to me has always been super creepy with that.
Yep.
But that's still a choice, though. That's still a choice.
Yeah, to this
in your
point.
car.
But let's say you buy a car that is OnStar and you decide not to activate it, it's still activated. You may not be able to use the functions like ask it questions, but it still is transmitting location and
Right.
speed and that information. Last time you had an oil change, all that kind of stuff. That's all up there in the cloud. So as the older cars start to be consumed by age and crashed or whatever,
But
these
Blind
new
Neil says,
smart
Go ahead.
cars are going to be continued to advance.
Blind Neil says, don't matter who you are, if you fly, there's always a chance of flyaways. Yeah, sure, that's fine. And again, a digital license plate could address that. Something on board on the drone. Or to address the flyaway issue, we're supposed to have stickers on ours. So if it does fly away, we have it.
Well, and it's going to evolve. It's going to get to a point where if a drone is flying erratically in one direction and it continues to move further away from the control point, what it'll do is it'll probably at some point will force it into land, because they just don't want it just to keep going, And you may or may not have that choice. I don't know, but I'm just speculating on the future. The future is such that it's going to be an amazing and somewhat frustrating to people that have been flying forever. I mean, think about it. The guys that went out and got those biplanes back in the early days, when you used to be able to fly and land in somebody's field or land on a highway or whatever. And all of a sudden they want you to have a radio to talk to a control center. Oh my God, those guys got to have been pissed, Why do I need that? I don't need that. I'm flying, So there's an evolutionary process with no matter what we do. Do we have to like it? Not necessarily, but it happens.
But yeah, I mean, I personally wouldn't own a car that had OnStar where they could track where it was going in real time. But that's what they want to do with the drones, right? They want all of us to pay for the privilege of them being able to know where every drone is at all times in the air, all sucked in by these third-party services that are just going to be sponging up all this data, doing who the hell knows what with it, because there's not going to be any good oversight of that information.
No, the government's going to get paid for it.
It's just going to be a mess. It's just going to be an absolute mess. So
but at some point in time, as everything evolves, I mean, look at the EHang
184.
Quadcopter that people fly in.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if they didn't have all that technology built into that thing just flying around?
Oh yeah.
So that's why I say, and I see the EHang is probably the forerunner to probably in 50 to 100 years. Everybody's going to have that for transportation, and it's going to have some kind of a system to control it, highways in the sky and all that kind of thing that they're going to have to work on. Because there's one thing about the human spirit is we all want the latest and greatest. It doesn't make a difference what it is, whether it's a fry pan or whether it's a TV, whatever it is, we want the latest and greatest. Everybody isn't happy with the old Motorola 22-inch black and white TV. I don't know anybody that owns one. Do you, John?
I'm sorry, I was reading something that Herman was writing there.
I was saying I don't know anybody that still has a 22-inch Motorola black and white TV and is happy with it.
No, I don't know anybody that has.
Everybody wants to upgrade to the latest, the greatest, the next best, and everything. And that's just human nature. From wristwatches to cell phones to
everyone wants the new stuff.
Yep.
Paul, Fanfact 101 was saying, Paul, he has it on his car. I guess you're talking about the
OnStar?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I had it on a couple of Cadillacs. I had OnStar. Um, very rarely used it because I don't drive that much, but I did use it one time. I had to take one of my dogs down to a specialist in Southfield, which is about 60 miles away, and it's in the city portion. And I couldn't find whatever street I was looking for, and I just hit the button. I told him where I was looking to go, and she says, "Turn right at this corner. Go 1.5 miles to this street. Turn right there. Go 4.5 miles, and you're going to make a left there, and it'll be on your right within 2,000 feet." So it's like, okay. And it worked. It did what it was supposed to design to do. Now, was I giving up something by having OnStar in that car? Probably. A lot of privacy, but on the flip side is, yeah, my personal hope is there isn't a lot of people in the world that are looking to be criminals or to do something they shouldn't be doing. So therefore, should we not have that available to the average citizen that is not out to do anything nefarious, just because we want to protect those people that would be nefarious? So I don't know. I don't know what that answer is. I'm just glad, John, that I'm on the sunset years and that I won't have that much longer to have to worry about it. But I can understand how younger people are looking to, well, how does all of these changes going to affect them in the future?
Yep, it's a lot to wrap one's head around. That's for sure. I will say these too are probably the biggest tracking devices in our cars that we have.
Oh yeah.
These phones.
And law enforcement, anybody can actually open up your speaker and listen to any conversations around you, and also monitor where you've called, what you're doing. And I personally, I'm fine with that because I'm not talking to anybody I shouldn't. I'm not doing any secrets that I don't care if anybody, but that's just me, you know? So I don't have a big brother issue. Some people do.
I'm
But
halfway. I mean, I don't want the government in my electronics or my devices or any of that crap.
Well, my whole theory is this, John. Little old Paul Murray in Port Huron, Michigan. I'm not involved in anything major as far as national secrets or nefarious activities. If they want to spend their time and money following Paul Murray around, God love them, because my life is pretty boring.
They're probably listening right now.
Yeah, they could. And if they are, God love you, because you've got much more important things to do. And I think that that's what happens is they're looking for the things that are eventful going on, not Paul Murray's life in Port Huron, Michigan.
Oh man, we have a great chat going in here about FPV flying. Kim saying keep the planes above 500 feet and there won't be trouble. The planes, I tell you what, the planes are not really the problem for me ever when I fly. It's the helicopters. The helicopters, those can come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. And
those are what you have to worry about.
The other thing that is I find very interesting is these guys that fly those carts with the blow up wings and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not registered.
Nope, they're not.
They just do whatever they want to do, and there's no way to know where the hell they are either.
Yep, that's right. You're talking about the paramotors.
Yeah,
the paramotors. Yeah.
Either the backpack or the little cart where they sit in it. Yep. Paragliders,
Yep.
I guess.
Yep. Isn't that funny? Right? They can go up there and do all of that, and that's fine.
Even the guys that you see, they run off the side of a hill or a mountain and they sail around. They're not regulated either.
Nope, they're not. that will change eventually, but it's that's funny. I've always thought that's really funny, and they go high. I mean,
Yep.
these guys can go really, really high,
Yep.
higher than we're allowed to with our little toys.
Yep. Yep. And so at some point in time, you would think they'd be at least required to have, you know, a small, a FAA regulated radio like this, to where, with a headset on, where they could at least monitor what's going on and report, I'm flying in this area, just on a general notification, so that planes or other UAS or other people sharing the airspace could say, oh, okay, what altitude are you?
Yeah, Kim, I know. As an FPV flyer, just check the area for airports, helipads, and fly accordingly. Yeah, I totally understand that, but like some of these helicopters, they literally come out of nowhere, and there's there's like no way to know that they're on their way, so to speak, and they just shoot. They're there before you even
Yep,
realize it in some
exactly.
cases, and that happens to the camera bird guys as well. And the planes are really, for 99% of people, it's a non-issue. I've never been in an area where the planes are going below 400 feet. I've never been in an area where they're going below 400 feet. So you'd have to be really, really close to a landing and takeoff area for that to be a problem.
Right.
But the helicopters, they can fly low and they can fly anywhere, and they more often than not will go below that 400 feet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So they're scarier than any other.
And on general flight maps too, you can see where they should and should not be, but
Mhm.
um, it denotes helipads and that kind of thing, especially at hospitals and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not gonna know. Like, okay, I know the helipad's there at the hospital. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean I'm never gonna have a helicopter fly over me? No.
Yeah, it's more or less just for you to beware.
Hmm.
I ran into that situation when I went to fly my last um, float down, and I forgot to take my air map with me,
Hmm.
and where I wanted to take off from was a no-no, because there's an airport within 5 miles, and my drone wouldn't let me take off. So I ended up having to go down south of that, and it was okay. It was a float down, and but you got all the circles and everything, and I didn't have this with me. And the cell phone I use is I've been having problems with lately anyway, so I couldn't go to air maps or anything on the cell phone. So I ended up calling Lenny. She was at home. I had her look up, and she told me where the line went so I could go south of there, and then I was able to fly.
Kim says the helicopters who fly low need permission to fly low. Yeah, sometimes.
Not so much permission, they need to notify the tower.
Yeah, and that's all
Whatever
they
the
have to do.
Control center. In other words, like when they land at Port Huron Hospital here, they notify inbound Port Huron Hospital, which is right almost on the water down there. Inbound and course and speed,
Mhm.
and they will actually not come straight in. They'll actually make a little swoop around and look at everything. Then they come
Right.
in, and when they do the swoop around, they're at about 300 feet.
Let's see. Kim was saying you could see him leaning over and watching him hover. So I guess he called it in. He warned other pilots. Now You don't have low flyers here anymore. Here, oh well, that's nice. That's interesting. I mean, here's the thing though that's unfortunate too is that even if let's say even if the helicopter was in the wrong per se, like let's say the helicopter just decided I'm going below 400 feet and they didn't notify or nothing, which happens. I'm sure it happens all the time. They're out there. If your drone is there and it hits it, you're still responsible. Even if the helicopter was doing something naughty, you're still responsible because it's on the drone operator who's responsible to make way for manned aircraft. The manned aircraft does not have to make way for you.
Exactly. And the other thing too is I'm in the flight path here being on the border. We have a lot of Coast Guard flights that fly up out into the lake and back on regular patrol. And we also have Homeland Security, and we also have Border Protection that has helicopters that earlier this morning, one went by here at about 150 feet.
Herman, that's exactly why I've never taken any of my drones into the city. I don't think I have the nerves to fly there. If I lived there, I would probably end up finding the spots that you guys do to just be able to fly. But if I can avoid flying in a city area, I do it.
Well, and the other thing too, Herman
I
and
just don't have
Lawrence
the
and all the
balls.
rest of them, Ray, they all usually fly in groups. They never go out and fly by themselves.
Right, exactly.
They always fly in groups, and they all have radios, and they communicate with one another. They tell each other, like if they're changing altitude, I'm dropping down to 100 feet, or I'm going to 250 feet, or whatever. And that's a great system.
I gotta take this call. 1 sec.
Okay, that makes sense, Herman, in the city. But you got people that are out in the country that are flying solo, and they don't have that kind of ability to do the kinds of things to stay safe that you guys do in the city when you fly together. But now I notice Lawrence flies sometimes, like when he's doing his building shot where they're building the building and he's showing the progression. I know he had his wife with him the other day to spot for him. Yeah, manamana. The only birds that you want to stay away from is big hawks and eagles, because they can be very aggressive. Well, it's either that, Kim, or what they're doing is either training flights and they're getting better at flying at a higher altitude to see what they want to see. The initial new pilots, they like to see come down and see what it looks like low and whatever. But most helicopter pilots want to fly safe in a certain altitude. Yeah, that was smart, Blind Neil. Yeah, the sad part is we only have, when you're flying and you're watching your drone camera, your field of view is this. So if there's birds coming at you from any directions or below or above, you haven't got a clue until they in front of your camera. Yep, that's a smart thing to do, Kim, is to awareness of the area you're flying in, but like in a big city, there's so much noise and congestion and so high traffic. Herman is indicating that, there's between the police and the tour helicopters and the transient helicopters that are transporting people to and from different locations and private helicopters. It's probably a madhouse at times. Herman, do you find it gets crowded at certain periods of the time, or it can be open and then crowded, then open, then crowded, just at various random times? Yep, that's right. The technology has helped you, Kim, with your mini to be an awareness type of thing, which is good. Everybody, check everybody out to make sure you have them. Subscribe to them. Like I say, we're here this morning because Roger had a doctor's appointment. He's going to be on later today. So watch for Canadian Drone Hub later today. Roger will be on, I would have guessed 7 or 8 o'clock ish, somewhere in that time frame. Could be earlier, Roger. Yep, Mana, you can do that too. Is self-awareness, I call it. When you have to keep your ears open and know that you have to be aware of what's going around in your flight path. And always, like John says, it's our responsibilities as UAS pilots to always give way and give wide berth to any kind of manned aircraft whatsoever. Yep, Kim, that's part of being a responsible pilot for sure. And if everybody wouldn't mind, please hit the like button, whether you're coming or going. Yeah, that's the one thing about FPV flying is you have to be aware and be able to flip the goggles up to take a look if you have to. so that you can get the peripheral vision. Now, I know some FPV goggles allow you to tap a button on the side and it's got a little camera that lets you see, which is kind of nice too. But get up and lay down. Go lay down. Lay down. Come here, me. Yeah, Blind Neil, that's good. You don't have a lot of aircraft in your area. No. Be right back, guys. I got to shut the door. Come here. Hey. No, get up here. Get up here. You be good girl. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Well, that's good. You being a spotter for Roger. That always helps. Anybody, if you can have a spotter, as most of you know, I don't have a spotter when I fly the ships. I fly a usual general, same pattern. I know the area like the back of my hand. And so I'm really confident of the area. Doesn't mean that something couldn't happen. Hey, kitty cat, meow. But whenever you can have a spotter, it's always a good idea. So is anybody going to get a chance to go out and fly today, or what's everybody think? I know some areas, Roger took his drone with him to the doctor. It's about an hour away, and his appointment was at 11. But he was going to, there was a spot he wanted to fly afterwards. So he took his drone. I hope that the weather cleared up for him. Oh, Kim, the weather is bad there still? Okay. I didn't know whether or not it had cleared up for you at all. I know Herman is just dying probably to get out and fly. He's been laid up for a while now. And Herman, is there any indication that you might be able to get out and fly soon or no? That's too bad. I kind of hoped that maybe Roger'd be able to go out and fly, but If it's that bad, not going to happen, is it? Here's the weather here. And as you can see, not much going on. Let's zoom out a little bit and we'll go over and take a look over where you are, Kim. Yeah, if you're going to get any rain, Kim, it looks like doesn't look like too much going on right where you are, Kim, right now. Because I think if I'm right, you guys are about in this area. I see a little bit of a pop-up storm going through here. Looks like pop-up storm pockets are right over in here. Yeah, I understand, Phantom. Now, will you be going to any kind of a physical therapy for your ankle or no? Yeah, Manamana, that's great if you can get out, get in some stick time, keep working on that muscle memory. Well, everybody in the chat, I think I'm going to say goodbye for now on behalf of myself, Roger, John Coopy, Paul Hodges, and everybody in the chat. I'd like to thank everybody for popping in and saying hello today. Roger should be on again this evening. Like I say, we're here because Roger had to go to a doctor's appointment. So everybody take care, have a great day, and we'll see everybody next time on Canadian Drone Hub. Also on Wednesday night, you've got Phantom Flight 101, those guys at 5 p.m. Take care, everybody, and have a good evening or afternoon or day or wherever you are in the world. Just stay out of trouble, fly safe, be responsible. Until next time, we'll see you then.